The mirror had survived fires, funerals, and decades of silence, and on the morning the veteran wiped it clean, it revealed a truth that stopped his heart colder than any battlefield ever had. Dust fell away in slow streaks, the glass catching weak winter light, and for a moment the reflection showed more than a tired man in an empty house. It showed a past that had been hidden on purpose, waiting patiently for the one person brave enough to look straight at it. If you believe in silent heroes and second chances, take a moment right now to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel. Stories like this only matter because people like you still believe quiet courage deserves to be seen. His name was Matthew Cole, a United States Army veteran who returned home carrying memories he never spoke about and a loneliness that settled deeper every year. When his grandmother passed away, Matthew inherited her old house on the edge of a small American town, a place time seemed to forget. The house smelled of aged wood, old books, and winter spent alone. His parents-in-law had long cut ties with him after his marriage failed, blaming him for things they never tried to understand. With nowhere else to go and little money left, Matthew moved into the house with his dog, Cooper, the only living being who had stayed through everything. Matthew told himself the house would be temporary. He planned to clean it, sell it, and move on. But every room held memories of his grandmother's quiet strength, her steady presence during his childhood, and the sense that she had always known more than she shared. Cooper followed him from room to room, sniffing corners, pausing at doors that had not been opened in years, his instinct sharper than Matthew realized. The mirror hung in the hallway, tall and heavy, framed in dark carved wood. It had always unsettled Matthew as a child, not because it was broken, but because it felt like it watched back. Years of dust had dulled it, turning reflections into shadows. Matthew decided to clean it last, more out of obligation than interest. He wiped slowly, watching his own face appear piece by piece, older than he remembered, eyes heavier than they used to be. That was when Cooper began to growl softly. He pressed close to the mirror, pawing at the lower edge, sniffing with urgency. Matthew thought it was nothing at first, maybe a scent trapped in the wood. But Cooper would not stop. As Matthew wiped the last layer of dust, a faint line appeared behind the glass, not a crack, but something deliberate. His breath slowed. The mirror was not just a mirror. Matthew removed the frame with shaking hands. Behind it was a shallow recess in the wall, sealed long ago and hidden carefully. Inside were documents wrapped in oilcloth, photographs yellowed by time, and a small metal box. Cooper sat quietly now, as if his job was done. Matthew's hands trembled as he opened the box and unfolded the papers. The truth hit him in waves. His grandmother had not been just a quiet widow living off a modest pension. She had been the sole beneficiary of a trust created after a long legal battle involving land rights, mineral access, and a corporation that no longer existed. The property beneath the house and surrounding land held rights that had been deliberately concealed to protect the family. The value, adjusted over time, was staggering. Enough to change everything. Enough to explain the secrecy, the solitude, the careful way his grandmother lived. Matthew sank to the floor, the weight of it pressing on his chest. All his life, he had believed struggle was inherited, that hardship was simply his fate. He remembered nights when his grandmother skipped meals, winters when she kept the heat low, and realized now that it was never about poverty. It was about protection. She had hidden the truth not out of fear, but out of wisdom, waiting for the right moment and the right person. As days passed, Matthew verified the documents. Lawyers confirmed what the mirror had revealed. The truth froze him not because of the money, but because of what it meant. His grandmother had believed in him enough to trust him with something that powerful. She had seen beyond his silence, beyond the damage War had done, and she had chosen him. News traveled fast in a small town. People who had ignored him now greeted him differently. Those who had dismissed his worth reconsidered. Even his former parents-in-law reached out, suddenly interested, their tone changed by opportunity. Matthew listened, but he did not rush to answer. He had learned that not all reconnections were built on sincerity. If this story is touching your heart, please take a moment to engage with this video. Your support helps stories like Matthew's reach people who feel forgotten. Matthew chose to move carefully. He restored the house first, not turning it into something flashy, but preserving its soul. He invested in the town quietly, helping repair roads, supporting veterans, funding shelters without attaching his name. Cooper stayed by his side, older now, slower, but still alert, still watching. Matthew also uncovered letters his grandmother had written but never sent. They spoke of resilience, of faith in quiet goodness, of believing that the right person would know when to act and when to wait. The mirror had been her final safeguard, a test of patience and respect. If Matthew had smashed it or sold the house without care, the truth would have stayed hidden forever. Time softened things. Matthew forgave without forgetting. He set boundaries where there had once been silence. He built a life that felt steady, not loud. The mirror returned to its place, cleaned and restored, no longer hiding anything, reflecting only what stood honestly in front of it. Just before the end of this story, we have a special request. Please comment below and share what part Matthew and Cooper's journey moved you the most. On quiet evenings, Matthew would sit in the hallway, watching the mirror catch the light, Cooper resting at his feet. The truth that once froze him had become the foundation of something warmer. Not wealth, but purpose. Not shock, but gratitude. And in that reflection, Matthew finally saw not a broken soldier, but a man trusted with legacy, strong enough to carry it forward.